All right, after analyzing some of the work you've been doing in the last few weeks, I have managed to devise a system for fully integrating your ambi panning work into Max. I mean, far out. Into live. Max for live. The reason, or like the benefit, or the major benefit I see of this is that you'll be able to use Ableton for what it's really good for, and that is like sample playback management and sequencing, and then apply everything you've learned using the ICST, ambi panning, and ambisonics objects in Max, and then route them out of your Max for Live device into both your headphones binaurally using the Waves NX plugin, as well as routing them to individual real-world speakers in an array of your choosing. So here we go. And this is all due to the reason why we can do this is due to the Live 10 update now allows for routing of audio between from one live track to another in a way that it didn't previously. So to make this work, you can have a read here about Audio Routes, the new system for multi-channel routing in Ableton. But you need to head to this website, which I've got the link on Student Web. And whilst you're having a read through here, download this link, or go to that link, which takes you to a Max for Live page, and download the zip file. You can see what we're going to get in this zip file, as well as, well, let's see here. Release Live 10, we have an important and previously unavailable feature added to the Live API, the opportunity for programmers to access audio anywhere within a live session through a Max for Live device. So this is the new feature. This opens the door for new Max for Live's options, including audio spatialization, sound sidechaining, and massive multi-channel audio routing. That's what we're interested in. In order to make this new functionality more accessible, they've created a bunch of tools that we can use. Now that is just downloaded, and what we're going to see is a bunch of different examples, starting with this one. But let's open it, and I'll show you how to open it. So we've downloaded the zip file and exported it. Undecompressed it, and there it is in my downloads folder. So now I'm going to open Live, and from here, if it's not already a place, you could add a folder and add your downloads as a place. I've already done that, so that's why I can see my downloads folder here. Click on that, and here is the uncompressed audio routes folder that I have just downloaded. It comes with a bunch of example sessions, as well as in the presets, audio effects, Max audio effects. So they're all Max audio effects, the individual devices as well that we're going to be using here. So might as well follow the introduction material here and just take a quick look at the first set or example set here named audio routing example. Double click on that to open the set. And this set includes a few things. It's got some example audio clips here. And then in the middle, it has a routing track, which has this routing plugin Max for Live device on it, which we're going to use for our own purposes. And then the outputs here. And what it does is it just illustrates some of the key concepts about what we're doing. So in the center here, we have our main track that we're interested in. Here are our incoming signals, inputs, and these are the Ableton tracks that we are outputting that signal to. So we're coming in here, routing it using this device, which is placed on this track, and then we're going to output them to these tracks over here. So you can see audio 1, for instance, has a clip on it. And I'll stop playing for a second, but it has a clip on it. And all of these audio tracks have their audio set to sends only, essentially saying, have the track active, but don't output any audio directly from this track. And that's the same for these 4 examples here. On our 4 output tracks, if I renamed these, this would be like, you could call this like input 1. Copy, rename, paste, input 2, rename, paste, input 3. And then these would be our outputs. Output 1, 2, etc. And the last one, cool. So we can see we're getting audio in from here. In our routing channel or track, we've got this example plugin set, and we've got a few things here. In this plugin or in this Max for Live device, we select which inputs we would like to use. So this is the track name. You select the track, and then you select whether you want pre or post, pre-post effects or post mixer. We're going to use post mixer. And then here we define where we're sending our tracks out to. So for instance, the track named output 1, which is their track named output 2. Let's give this an example. Let's play this first one here. So what it's doing is it's taking the audio from input track 1. Here it is. And you've got a little level control if you want it. You could also just control the level here too on the actual track itself. And the audio is not going directly from this track to the master. It's going through this channel via this plugin. So this Max for Live device is grabbing that audio and then pulling it into this plugin. And then if I turn these off, this little matrix is saying which of the 4 outputs we've selected is it going to go to. So input 1, to turn it off, and I'm going to send input 1 to output 2, well, this way, which is here, and then I can send it to this one and send it to this one. Then I can do the same with this next source, start that playing. You can see it's there. So this is the input number 2, and these are the outputs. Currently going to output 1, but I could move that to output 2, output 3, or output 4. The last part of the puzzle is what you would do is then with these tracks here, instead of sending their audio to the master output, which is, doesn't really do much difference, if we are set up in a multi-speaker or multi-output device, so like the type of audio interface we have at Box Hill in 151 that has 8 outputs, we would send this output to external, and then we would have the option for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we'd select this one would be 1, this one would be 2, this one would be 3, etc. Can't see them now because that hardware interface isn't plugged in at the moment, but that's how you'd set it up. So by routing these tracks to these particular outputs, we're essentially saying this is going to speaker 1, this is going to speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4. Great. Have a bit of a play with that. Wrap your heads around that. Explore this plugin and this preset here. And then we'll get to applying it in the next video. I think the key thing to remember is this grabbing of audio from different tracks in Ableton was not possible until this Live 10 update These Max for Live devices make it possible or make it easy for us to do that. We're going to hack them and change them for our own purposes in the next few videos. And also, one other thing to keep in mind is that even though we can grab audio from different tracks and send it to different tracks from within a Max for Live device, we always need to do it in a stereo pair. That's one of the limitations of this Ableton Live API, is that the audio that we're grabbing is always in stereo pairs. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward.